Hello, Year 2, it's Mr. Hodgson here, and this afternoon we're going to follow the designs that we drew last week, and we're going to use those designs to make our house. How exciting! Do you know, children, I love design and technology, especially making things, because that's the best part. So, what we need to do first is get your design out that you did last week and have a really good look at it. Refresh your memory. Now, don't worry if you didn't manage to do your design last week, because you can always do this before you start to make your house this afternoon. So, you're going to follow your design and make your house. But what will you need to think about before you start to make it? Because remember, Year 2, designers don't just rush in. They think very carefully about what they're going to do first. So first of all, I guess you'll need to think about whether you've got all of the materials you need to build your house. What are you going to use? And do you have all of these materials that you will need? So are you going to use cardboard boxes? Are you going to use cartons or tubes or bottles or paper or card or a mixture of those? The choice is yours. Remember, it's your design. Now, when you've got your materials together, the next question that you'll need to ask yourself is, how am I going to join the materials together? And how am I going to make sure that my house is fairly strong and sturdy? Because you don't want it to fall down. So, are you going to glue your materials together? You could use sellotape, or you could even use something stronger, like masking tape or packing tape. Maybe you might use a stapler, but you'll need to be extra careful if you're using one of these. You could even use blue tack, or even try using elastic bands or string. Again, it's up to you. Remember, it's your design. So here are some other ways of joining materials together. So can you see that you could use slits? Look, you could use slits into card, cut into card, and that's how you could join materials together. You could also, over here, they've used brackets and they've glued these to the card, and that would make your design really strong. Here they've used masking tape, which is like a strong sellotape. And here they've cut the tube, folded it out, and then glued it to the box. Maybe you could give that a go, especially if your house has a chimney. Now remember, you're going to have to try to make sure that your house is quite strong and sturdy. So here are some ways that you could strengthen the materials. So you could join materials together, which we've already talked about, using glue or strong tape. You could also roll card into tubes. In fact, if you put lots of rolled tubes together, that would really create a strong base. And here is an example. Can you see in this picture here, where they've rolled tubes and they've put sellotape around them and then put lots together. They've even put a book on top. It's that strong. So you could try that. You could try folding the card into a concertina shape. And a concertina shape is a bit like a fan. That really makes the paper and card strong. So there's an example of that. Look here in this picture. So that's a concertina. You might want to try that. Or you could simply layer the card, layer paper and card over the top of each other, and that would again create an extra strong base. Maybe you might want to have a go at each method. So you might want to have a go at using card with strong glue or tape or rolling or folding or layering before you start. It's up to you. So have a look at these examples. So this house shape was made by joining two boxes together, a big box and a small box, and they were glued together. So this box here and this box here were glued together down the middle. The roof were made from sheets of card and were stuck on with masking tape, and you can see the masking tape going across there. And the chimney is made from an empty toilet roll tube, and this was cut to fit the roof, and then they attached it with blue tack. So underneath here is some blue tack. And this view shows how the roof was attached to the main part of the house. So a sheet of cardboard was folded in half and then stuck to the main part of the house with masking tape, and you can see the masking tape there going all the way across. Simple. And here are some other ideas. They look really good. This one's even been decorated, and the door's got a hinge. You will have to think about how you're going to cut the doors and the windows out. Do you want the window just to be an empty space, or do you want to cover that with something like clear film? And here are some more examples. This one is Rapunzel's tower. Okay, so I think, year 2, that you're just about ready to start, but you do need to think about these 3 questions, and they're really important. So the first question is, okay, what will you do if you have a problem while you're making your house? It would be really great if you could try to make your house on your own without any help, but please do not struggle. If you have a problem, think about what you could do. Okay, so first of all, be resourceful. Don't forget the power of yet, but if you're really, really struggling, you may have to ask a grown-up. Okay, the next question is, how can we make sure that we stay safe while we're making our houses? Because you might be using scissors or staples or glue, and we really do want you to stay safe. So if you're using equipment, make sure that you are extra careful. And then the last question is, how can you make sure that your house turns out how you want it to? So hopefully your house will look a bit like your design. It might even, in fact, look a lot like your design. But don't worry if it doesn't, because even the best designers change their designs or adapt them as they go along. All you've got to do is try your best. So, good luck, year 2. Enjoy being creative this afternoon, and don't forget to send pictures of your finished house to Seesaw, because we'll be looking out for them. Enjoy!